Hello, this is Robin Harvey, the Course Director of Gerontology, and today I'm going to talk to you about the Master of Gerontology and the Graduate Certificate in Gerontology courses at Sturt University. So what we will be talking about this evening is a little bit of webinar housekeeping, some information about CSU, why you should study this course at CSU, the professional recognition that this course will give you, and career opportunities associated with studying gerontology. Specifics about the course, the subjects and the course structure, and some information that you might like to know about studying online with CSU. We'll also talk to you about admission requirements and how you can apply, and the costs. So, for webinar housekeeping, to allow the presentation to flow, please place yourself on mute throughout the presentation. Our student recruitment advisors are on hand to answer your questions, and you can use the questions box on the right-hand side of the webinar screen at any time during the session. The questions that you post will be addressed at the end of the webinar presentation. And just to let you know that this presentation is being recorded and a link will be sent to you within 3 working days of the webinar. Okay, let's go. So, what are some of the benefits for you in studying gerontology? Gerontology is a specialist addition to your current professional discipline in health and aged care. Many people working in health and aged care areas or human services areas are finding themselves working predominantly with or already specialising in working with older people. The gerontology course prepares you to work with older people more fully and gives you the specialist knowledge and expertise that you can build into your practice. There's a choice of clinical, professional practice streams or a research policy stream within the Master of Gerontology and the Grad Cert. You can choose either one of those to shape your course better to meet your own needs in your workplace. There is a focus both on healthy ageing and on aged care, and our courses use a biopsychosocial perspective, so they're giving you a broad perspective of all the ranges of information and knowledge that you need in working with older people. Another really key point and benefit of the course is that it's interdisciplinary study. So you'll be studying with other people who are involved in nursing, allied health, other human services, aged care disciplines. There's a whole range of people from different fields of practice and from different disciplines studying together, which gives a great blend of different perspectives. And the course is, of course, also delivered entirely online. Some other benefits of the course include that it's practice-linked, relevant and current. We aim to make our assignments and our course material very relevant to people's practice, and we think that we've got that fairly well right because the feedback from 2 recent surveys of our current students and recent graduates gave us a strong endorsement that they felt that the subjects and the materials were practice-linked and relevant to them. You can study at your own pace within the bounds of the session boundaries. There are no exams in the core gerontology subjects. There may be an exam depending on which elective you take, if you're taking the professional practice stream and doing electives, but within the core subjects in gerontology there are no exams. There are also no residential schools or fieldwork placements. And so that's a benefit for people who live quite distantly from the uni and for people who are working full or part-time. We have supportive and committed academics. We have a small team that teach in the gerontology course, and we've all come from practice and research backgrounds, and teaching is our passion, and we try and support our students as well as we possibly can. And finally, we have 21 years of experience of teaching gerontology via distance or online education from Sturt University. We were the first university 21 years ago to commence a gerontology course via distance. So we're very experienced at it. Career opportunities. Some of the career opportunities focusing on ageing include working as a senior clinician in leadership or management roles in your own discipline, obtaining leadership roles in aged care services, and these can be in community services, local government, hospitals, rehab, community health services, aged care assessment services, residential care programs, and a range of other areas. Policy or research roles in local, state or Commonwealth government departments and aged services NGOs. Also, graduates of the CSU Master of Gerontology have been able to become recognised as gerontological specialists within their professional association. For example, physiotherapists who've graduated with the Master of Gerontology have been able to become titled gerontological physiotherapists through the Australian Association, or the Association of the Australian Physiotherapy Association. And those opportunities may well be open to you within your own discipline. So what are the entry requirements for the course? To enter the Master of Gerontology, applicants must be a graduate at bachelor level, and courses such as nursing, any of the allied health courses, health sciences, community work, social work and welfare, health administration, public health or related fields are all relevant. We do sometimes have other graduates from bachelor level courses in other areas who are wanting to switch into a kind of a health and gerontology area, and they have been able to enter the course and do well with it. But we're particularly focusing on graduates of those sorts of courses for entry. For the graduate certificate in gerontology, applicants with bachelor level courses as above are, of course, eligible for the grad cert. However, we have additional eligibility at this level for people who have a TAFE diploma or equivalent, particularly in nursing, aged care, community services or related fields, plus also having significant work experience in aged care or ageing-related services. So for the grad cert in gerontology, it's not entirely necessary to have a bachelor level degree before you can enter the course. This offers a really good opportunity for people coming from a TAFE diploma or equivalent background who have work experience and are interested in developing a career and being able to open up new opportunities for them within their workplace to be able to enter at the graduate certificate in gerontology level. And as you can see, entering at the graduate certificate level can take you through and into the master. So here we have the course structure. For the graduate certificate in gerontology, there are 4 subjects, which makes up 32 points for graduation. The course can be taken within 1 year part-time, which is generally 2 subjects. Part-time is 2 subjects per session. And the subjects are taught in session 1 and 2, which is the February to June session, session 1, and session 2 is the July to November session. I should say here too that some students who are working full-time or part-time and have other commitments on their time can take one subject, take the course one subject at a time if required. So there's some flexibility to mesh with your working and other life requirements to fit the time in. A comment I'd like to make around the grad cert is that one of our entry subjects, we have particularly put in academic and information skills embedded into the subject content, and this is to support students in their transition into study, particularly if they're coming from the TAFE level of qualification, the diploma level, or if they've been in practice for quite a long time and it's a long time since they've studied. And we understand that online learning has changed dramatically over the last few years, and so we provide academic and information skills scaffolding to ensure that you can transition into the study as well as possible. So with the graduate certificate in gerontology, that gives you a full 32-point credit into the Master of Gerontology. So if you successfully complete your graduate certificate, you can go on into the Master of Gerontology, which in full has 12 subjects and 96 points and is 3 years part-time. So with a grad cert in gerontology, you would enter the second year. You would have your first year part-time completed and you would be entering at the second year level. I should also note that there's an exit point from the Master of Gerontology after 2 years of part-time study, and that's that at that point students can choose to exit with a graduate diploma of gerontology rather than complete the master. That's an exit point only, so it's not available as an entry into the course. Some of the subjects and progression for the course. The subjects that are written in blue are the subjects that are core for the graduate certificate in gerontology. And as you can see, they offer a range of subjects around the biopsychosocial model that I talked about previously, and offer a broad perspective on gerontology. So we have for the grad cert, choices and options in later life, which looks at a whole range of social determinants of health in ageing, and looks at some of the barriers and enablers of healthy ageing for older people in a broad sense, incorporating quite a bit of sociology. GR 402, Ageing Bodies, Ageing Minds, looks at, as it says, some of the physical health-related illnesses associated with ageing, both body and mental health issues. It also looks at mental health promotion for older people. The next subject, GR 404, Ageing and Professional Practice, looks at a range of different models of working with older people within professional practice streams, and also looks at the practice context of working in ageing at this moment with the changing developments of how we work with people. That particular subject links very closely with assignments that are highly relevant to your practice in whatever field and discipline you are practicing in. It uses reflective practice techniques and looks at things like case studies and health promotion planning and projects. GR 406 is issues in dementia care and communication, and that builds on the information on ageing minds and dementia as part of GR 402 and provides a really strong basis for practice with dementia care and communication. The next subjects in red are subjects that you will take as part of the Masters if you are in the Masters or go on to the Masters. So 501, Contemporary Issues in Gerontology, allows students to choose between a range of different contemporary issues, or choose with discussion with the subject coordinator to study a particular issue that is of high relevance to your practice. The next subject is around policy in ageing in Australia, and that's HLT 502. Then we have GER 502, which focuses on end-of-life and palliative care, and GER 503, which is around leadership in complex aged care practice. Within the course, you will also be able to choose between 2 research method subjects, depending on when it comes in your course, and which would suit your aims better. And there is also a subject on ethics, and ethics of intervention, working with vulnerable clients, and the opportunity for either a social work and human services dissertation, which is a short 1-year-long subject enabling you to carry out a research project, or 2 restricted electives, depending on which stream you take. So, a little bit about our approach to teaching and learning in this course. So, as I mentioned before, study skills are embedded in GR 401. CSU also provides extensive support for DE students, particularly through our Alan, study skills specialist, who can provide flexible support either on a direct one-to-one basis, or through online forums that we organise within the subject. And so there's extensive support for DE students. Course materials in our subjects link theory to practice requirements and to the knowledge of students. And there's a flexibility of topics to tailor your learning to your own needs. Our assessments are very practice related. They include reflection on practice and critical analysis skills. And there is an integration across the curriculum. So we make sure that within our subjects, within the different topics that the subjects focus on, we are building on earlier skills and knowledge. And as mentioned before, the online environment provides for very multidisciplinary connections between students. So, you might be thinking and wondering what it's like to study online. There are certainly challenges, but there is significant support. So, of course, one of the major challenges is time management. When you're not in a structured situation where you have to attend lectures at a certain time and place, it can be very hard, particularly when most of our students are working either full or part-time and have very busy lives with family, recreation, all of the things that we need to fit in. The subjects are organised around an expectation of between 10 and 12 hours per week per subject. Some people manage in a little less, and some people may take some more. So generally it's really important to work out an opportunity within your week that you're able to manage to fit in those sorts of hours. The time might fluctuate a little bit too, depending on where you are in the subject and whether you have an assignment due imminently, but that's an average. There are some challenges around distance education in terms of not feeling as close to either your lecturer or your fellow students, and we have a number of opportunities through our online environment that supports contact, both contact through online forums and sometimes synchronous study where we can meet and chat online. So there's a range of different opportunities within the distance education format. Sometimes it's a little hard to keep up motivation if you feel like you're on your own in study. So one of the key things to do is to make sure that you check in, that you use the forums and the communication channels provided. And if you're finding things a challenge or finding difficulties, that you contact your subject coordinator as soon as possible and allow them to organise to help you with that. Competing priorities, of course, need to be arranged, and sometimes the technology gets a bit hard. Certainly we were late starting this session because the technology was a bit challenging in getting to a full screen for your viewing, so my apologies for that. And that's a little pointer as to how sometimes the technology can be difficult, but we can learn that, and we generally manage to sort that out. And it's not something that needs to be a barrier or to be afraid of. And some of the support that we have, of course, our lecturer team, and that's primarily your subject coordinator for each subject, myself as the course director, and others in the gerontology team who help out from time to time. And we have support, as I said, through the online environment from our study skills assistance people. We also have other university resources, such as our outreach teams who have a presence and travel to various parts of Australia, providing an opportunity for face-to-face support for some students. And also, I guess the support for study is encapsulated in the fact that we try and make it practice relevant, so that you have that opportunity that as you're studying, you're also able to apply it, and you're also able to apply your work experience as you're studying, so that we aim to have those two things mesh, so that you can see the value of what you're doing and you can bring your experience to the study. And that's a really supportive aspect, I think. The costs involved, because I've already spoken about the study time expectations. The subject costs for the subjects in the graduate certificate or master of gerontology are at this point $2,200 per subject. And fee help is available for students, which means that you can, a fee help loan, which helps you to study now and pay that off through tax later. There are some textbooks to be bought, but we keep those to a minimum, and they're generally reasonably priced textbooks. We provide a lot of our subject materials in the form of links to readings through that you can access online, or other resources online such as videos, audio material and things like that. So textbooks are not an expensive part of the course. And there are some additional student fees which can be clarified in questions later. Okay, they're fairly minor. So, application and enrolment information. The course has February and July entry points. So, applications are due now for Session 1, 2016, and they're due by the 30th of November 2015. Session 1 starts the 29th of February. I should note, though, that there is provision provided for late applications, so don't panic if you are working on things and are not able to get your application in right by the 30th of November. We can extend that somewhat, particularly if you contact us and let us know that you're intending to apply or wishing to apply. As you can see there are also the dates for the applications for mid-year entry in 2016. And mid-year entry applications due by the 29th of April. for Session 2, which starts the 11th of July 2016. So as I said, later applications will be accepted, but early application ensures that you'll have availability of places in your course. And it also ensures that you can be well set up and have your expectations and your process in place to be able to start with your study on time. So how do you apply? Applications can be made online at the CSU website using the link that's showing there. Okay, and further inquiries can be made to me, Robin Harvey, the email address on screen, or via the telephone number on screen. Or you can contact Charles Sturt University Contact Centre on 1800 334 733. Okay. Thank you very much.
Robin, we have a couple of questions from some of the participants. I have a question from Sabre, who is asking that they are an RAS assessor and is wondering if this course would be a benefit to them.
Yes, I think it certainly would be. We have had students before who've been working in that field. In fact, I remember one of our students who completed her graduate certificate in gerontology and then obtained a position as an assessor, and then went on to do her master's. So I think that you would find it indeed of value with that work.
Thanks, Robin. And Mari asks that she has been working in aged care for 25 years and has done a diploma in leisure and health plus a certificate in understanding dementia. She would like to study further and is interested in doing the grad cert in gerontology, and is just wondering also if that would be a benefit for her.
Yes, I think it certainly would be of benefit for Mari, and like many of our students, you would bring Mari a huge range of knowledge and experience from your work, and I think that students with that range of experience benefit even more from their study, because you can link up what you're learning in terms of perhaps a more theoretical or a more critical analysis of your practice then through what you learn. So I think that you would find it very useful, and certainly you would be eligible for the graduate certificate, and yeah, I would welcome you to apply. I think one of the things that encourages us to know that our graduate certificate in gerontology is relevant for people working in the field like yourself is that many of our students go on then to do the masters, and I'm fairly sure that they wouldn't do that if they hadn't felt that what they were learning was highly relevant to their practice. It certainly does help fit people for management positions or higher positions in their workplace as well. So it gives you recognition within your workplace, which is of value for your career too, as well as giving you knowledge and skills that build on what you already bring to your practice. And I guess what we find is most of our students, when they introduce themselves, comment on the strong level of commitment they have to working with older people in whatever field it is, whether it's residential aged care or whether it's in community work or whether it's in nursing or physio or social work or whatever. And I think that's a key thing that students bring, and that we find that through the course, the education that we can provide helps to not only increase the motivation and commitment, but really builds on what you're bringing to ensure that you're providing I guess, the profession through your professional practice, the best possible care or the best possible service to older people. So that's what we aim for anyway. So I'd welcome an application, yeah.
Great, thank you for that, Robin. We have a question from Catelyn regarding the fees that I will pick up on that. For domestic students, so that's for Australian citizens, it is $2,200 per 8-point subject. So that's most of the subjects, Robin, I believe, are 8-point, are they? There's only...
Yes, there's only the SWK 500, which is a 16-point subject, and that's only taken by students who choose to do the research and policy stream.
So for those students who want to do that 16-point subject,
that would be just the equivalent of 2 subjects, and it is the equivalent of 2 subjects within the course.
So that will be 4,400 for a 16-point. For international students, it's 2,500 per subject, 8-point subject. There is also a $34 per subject student services and facilities fee as well. So we have another question, Robin, for you. Tracy is asking, she's completing her Bachelor of Social Work this year and has been offered a place already in the Master's course. Her question is, when does she need to choose the stream or path that to head down, e.g. professional or research?
It's useful to choose it as soon as you can, I guess, because the course structure will be slightly different in terms of fitting in where we fit in the research method subject, but you should be fine during the first year. But I'd be really happy to talk to you, Tracy, if you want to email me, and we can sort of just have a look at the subjects that you're enrolled in and check that, check how you can choose the stream. It's really about choosing it and just enrolling in the correct subjects for that stream.
Great. We have a question from Sue-Ann, who works in day rehab setting as a physio. And would this be relevant workplace to complete the practical side of the course?
Certainly, absolutely. I mean, we have a number of physiotherapists come through the course. And as I said during the presentation, one of the benefits, and for physios in particular, because we know that previous students have been, once they've graduated with the Master, have been able to gain recognition through the Physiotherapy Association as titled gerontological physiotherapists. So yes, the course is seen by your professional body as being highly relevant, and I can say that our physio students have found it of relevance as well. I would say that it broadens out from purely, it's not a purely medical model of ageing that we look at. As I said, it's biopsychosocial, and it does give a much broader context than just the medical model of care. However, I think that that's something that most physiotherapists, as other workers, really welcome. We also have one of our past physiotherapy students teaching into the course now, who teaches GR 402 for us. So all in all, I would say that, yeah, I think that you would find it of relevance, and in working with day rehab with older people, I think that would give you ample scope to be, I guess, working in a field that will mesh really well with the content. Yeah.
Great, thanks, Robin. That was our final question that we needed addressed in the webinar. So I think at this point we can probably conclude the webinar. So thank you, Robin, and thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, and I hope that was informative for people.